Рути Зельцер, исполнительный директор по персоналу MSD Merck Россия.
In 2011, in June, actually, my late wife had ALS. She couldn't walk and had difficulty getting out of bed, so I was lifting her, and I passed out. And in the process of the workup in the emergency room, they came back and said, "You have a mass on your lung," and indeed it was melanoma. The tumors were spreading. He told me that they went into my liver, and the one in my lung was growing, and other ones were popping up. I had seen Dr. Tony Rebus at UCLA for a second opinion, but I was going downhill very quickly. I wasn't eating. I was on oxygen. I couldn't walk. Actually, when I went in the hospital the end of May, I didn't think I was coming out. But then one night, the end of May, I had a great sleep. I remember this distinctly, and I slept like for 18 hours. So I gradually started feeling a little better. And then I started walking more and more. I'd walk a half a block, then a block, and I just kept pushing. And I was able to do more and more. Little things they're very appreciated by me. Getting up in the morning and going in my backyard and seeing my garden, and I'm able to be with my children and my grandchildren and go on vacations with them. And I was close to the end of the road, as far as you could get, I think, to the cliff, and I was pulled back by this treatment.
Здравствуйте. My name is Rути Zельцер, and I'm very fortunate to represent MSD Pharmaceuticals here. Miracles, like you just saw, happen thanks to huge investment in research and development and innovation. In addition to developing drugs, we also develop an additional thing, which is people and career opportunities for our people. And when we are talking about career opportunities, let me pause for a minute and tell you a little bit about myself. I come from Israel, and I've been working in the high-tech industry for 20 years, mainly in the high-tech in the HR industry for 20 years, mainly in the high-tech market. 8 years ago, I moved in Israel to work for MSD Pharmaceuticals as the leading HR person for the country, assuming more and more responsibilities with the time over CIS markets. A year and a half ago, I was offered to come here to Russia, and I moved with my husband and my 3 boys to Moscow, and I have to tell you that we are enjoying every minute of it, both professionally and personally. When we say opportunities, I'm not talking about myself only. I'm just one example of many, many others in our company for all the opportunities that are transparently open to all our employees around the world and posted in a very transparent way whenever we have a vacancy somewhere, anywhere, anyone in the world can apply for it and can go through it. I mentioned globally, so literally, if you have a dream of working and living somewhere, someday in Australia, in New Zealand, in the US, or you have a dream of moving to another function, not only for HR people moving to the business or to finance or to other functions, but also people from other functions moving from one place to another. This is all optional under the same roof of the same company. And we don't just offer it, we actually coach and we support people and we push people sometimes to do that. Like my managers were pushing me, and I'm very grateful for them for supporting my career, supporting my move. And I would like to pass some of this good to the colleagues here in Russia and do the same for our great people in the subsidiary in MSD in Russia. When we talk development in MSD, And everything I'm here to tell you is not about MSD Russia only. It's the corporate philosophy. It's every one of our 70,000 employees around the world. When we talk development, we don't necessarily mean promotional and horizontal. We mean development. And many times, all the development opportunities will be lateral moves, moving to a different function, to a different therapeutical area, to do something different, to learn something different that will better prepare them for success moving forward in their career, in our company, hopefully, but in Russia or outside of Russia. We expect from people to be passionate, to be goal-oriented, to have the drive and commitment and love what they do. As you saw in the testimonial, we are really fortunate to work for a company where what we do really matters. We literally save and improve people's lives on a daily basis. And it's such a big satisfaction to work for such a company. And also us in HR, and I'm not alone here because my team is here. And as the previous presenter said, my biggest fear, but don't tell anyone, is to let down my team. So, so they are not disappointed with me with this presentation. Going back to career opportunities, same as you, we are looking for the passionate people with the drive, with the commitment, with the learning ability. But we are looking also for those who can drive themselves forward and mainly be resilient, dealing with disappointments. At a certain age in life, you learn that there are many things you plan, but when reality hits you, the plans do not necessarily become true. And then you need to deal with the disappointment, and you need to overcome it somehow. And we try to coach people on how doing that, and we try to coach managers to support their people to do that, but it's very difficult. It's much easier said than done, we know, but we embed it in all our programs and all the things that we do on development for people, training, coaching, etc. We definitely seek for diversity. We do not want to have the same approach or the same people or more of the same anywhere, not here and not globally. We want to seek for the different backgrounds, different personalities, different colors that we have in each of us and make the most out of it, because different people bring different perspectives which are much more interesting, of course, and we believe that this is how we are going to attract the best talent and retain them in the company. But it also makes your job and your life more challenging, I would say. We set up very, very clear expectations in all interactions we have in the company, even if it's from the company to the employees, or between peers, or between a manager to his employees. We make sure that things are put on the table in a very transparent way. My colleague called it brutally honest. I like that phrase. If possible, not in a brutal way, but honest. Setting everything on the table from the expectation stage and through the performance and everything else. This is the only way we can improve and get better. Is it easy? Of course not. Can I tell you that there is not politics or hidden agendas or anything like that in the company? I would not tell you something like that, because we do. But we really tried in a systematic approach globally to avoid that and to improve that and to put things straight to the point and to the best of the matter and to the best of the subject in order for all of us to become better. You know, all our mothers, and I have a Jewish mother, so they think we are the best, right? There's nothing we can do that is not the best, and we are the best. And I have to tell you, I'm the same with my boys. I think they are the best thing that ever happened to this world. But when we go out of that interaction to the real world, to school, to university, to life, We need to listen, we need to open up, we need to hear when other people tell us different things that we mainly don't like, because those that we like, we just embrace and hug and take it away with us. So this is what we try to develop more and more and more in our organization. And it's done in a transparent way between the manager and the employee, between the manager that collects a lot of stakeholder feedback on his employees and provides it to them in a very consolidated way, with a prisma going to the future, to development. We are not looking for punishments, we are not looking for faults, we are not looking for bad conclusions. We are really trying to look at it from a developmental angle, and we're trying to find the win-win solution for both the person and the company, because there are so many opportunities. So the trick is to find the right place for you when you will be happy and the company will profit or will make the results. And that would be the win-win situation for all of us. And that's what we want from our people, because we want them for a long-term journey and not just a couple of years with us. It's a huge investment and we want to make the most out of it. I cannot stress enough the importance of feedback. Providing feedback, giving feedback to other people, and also accepting feedback. And again, it's not only top-down, it's not only on a systematic way in a year-end review. It's constantly ongoing, open communication, but very, very clear, simple, honest feedback. And we assume positive intentions. We decided as a company, at all levels, that we assume that people mean well when they come to you with the feedback and don't mean anything bad to happen to you. So we take a rigorous approach in feedback, in stakeholder feedback. As I showed you in the beginning, we develop talent. Now, we develop talent in a very, very global approach. Today, yes, 2 years ago I was in Israel, now I'm in Moscow. In 3 years, I can be somewhere else. So the approach for our talent is the same, global. We open ourselves globally, internally, and we also provide feedbacks globally. Now, with different cultures and different people and different colors, that's a challenge, not to mention different languages. I mentioned that we share talent. If we want to post all opportunities for everybody at the same time, globally, we need to also bring it back at the same time. So somebody can work for me in my team today, and part of my job as a people manager, apart from all the objectives that I have, is to prepare them to the next level that will come in 3, 4, 5 years, hopefully in our company, to the next role. So already now, we are starting to individually fill in their employee profiles, check if they are mobile or not, if they would like to stay in the country or they would like to move somewhere else. What are their interests? What fields, what spheres are more, appealing to them? What are they doing well? What are their areas for development? What do they fit to? And every one of our 70,000 employees is doing the same, going through the same process with their manager on an ongoing basis and talking about their development. And it's more than a fair question to ask your manager, what does it take for me to get your job tomorrow? Because I assume you will also want to be in a different job and you would also want to be developed. Now, many times managers here in Russia and in other places as well say, I invested so much in these people, I don't want to let them go. I want them to stay working for me forever, in this team that we have. And it's a fair approach. But probably we would lose these people as a company because the best people don't want to stay doing the same thing over and over again. If they do, that's also okay with us as a company, but it has to be their choice. They need to drive their career. The manager is developing them, and the company is supporting and enabling as much as we can and as much as we have opportunities. So to these managers, I usually say, you know, you would probably want to be developed as well. You would want to move to the next level someday. Would you want your manager to block you and keep you small or keep you in the same place? Probably the answer is no. So please treat your people the same way that you want your manager and your organization to treat you. And we do share the whole talent globally. We have very rigorous assessments of talent all the time. And as all your companies here, we have a very, very sophisticated toolbox that we use for assessments, for trainings, for development, for coaching. We have programs for identified talent and for the rest of the organization. But everything is done in a very transparent manner that says describes to the whole organization what we do. Now the choice is theirs. People can choose to grow their career with us. They can choose not to, and that's fine. But at least they know where they stand. And my objective, I would say even my job, my commitment as an HR person is to make sure that the managers are very honest and very clear with their people, and they are very fair with them. I cannot make a manager like someone. I cannot make them think they are the best employees or that their deliveries are the best. And you all know as much as I am that it's not mathematic equation. It's not something that is set and clear. These are perception and these are behaviors and interactions. It's very complicated, but I can make them, and I do, make them to tell the truth, to be honest, as much as they can, as much as they see the behavior, as much as they know, and the stakeholder feedback they got from other stakeholders as well. So it's not only their own impression. They are honest with the people, and they can tell them if what they are doing is good or not so good, if it's directionally okay, what they need to develop and work more. And again, it's something that we do on a global basis, and we take some sort of a deeper approach to anything that everybody is doing. Most importantly, we need to connect the dots for people all the time, all the time. You take one element out of the equation and you lose the context, or at least you make it a different context. We want people to understand the bigger picture. We want them to be passionate. We want them to know what to do. We need to explain and explain and explain and ask questions and probe again and again and again. Is it all easy? As I said before, no. And this approach is global, and we have the same approach of transparency throughout the whole organization, and we have trade-offs. I can tell you that sometimes we lose good people that say that they cannot live with that. Other people would not admit it, but from what I see, divide and conquer is sometimes so much easier for people managers. It's much easier to manage people when you don't disclose the whole information. When you keep the control on the data, and if you have control, you have power. And it's normal and it's okay. We don't want to go to this route, and we give all the opportunities for all peoples, for all leaders, to change this mindset and come and believe that the transparent way is better, but not all of them agree with us, and it's perfectly fair. Again, it's the fairness element that we're talking here. But we believe that as a company, we gain the better people for the longer term, and we also do much, much better for the patients and for our mission, that is to bring healthcare solutions globally and here in Russia to our people. So, in short, we believe that transparency, we compare it to the sunlight, okay? Because under the sunlight, everything is clear. Under the sunlight, everything is growing. And under the sunlight, you can feel warm enough and safe enough to dare to take challenges. My slogan became "Hier der Seite," because we need to take chances, we need to take risks, and we need to feel good enough to do that. So my question to you today is, if you all close your eyes for a minute and look very deeply into yourselves, how do you feel under the sunlight? Are you feel comfortable enough? Do you feel warm? Do you feel burned? Thank you very much.